3 years ago, I took the stage for the first time at TEDx. I freshly graduated, full of energy. I presented my project, and now 3 years later, this project turned to OWOW. And I think everybody knows when you turn something into a company, stuff gets really serious and boring. And our company as well, we got really serious, like our company profile picture. I'm the guy on the left, if you don't recognize me. I got the lady hair. And we didn't shoot this just to be funny. We shot this for actually a music event. We had this idea, but we couldn't find any models, so then you have to do it yourself. I want to give you a little glimpse of what we actually do and why we love what we do. I took 3 projects of all the stuff what we're doing. And the first one is called the social project. And the social project was about the fact that our online life is taking over. Everybody spends way too much time on your phone. And actually, a little fun fact, we're going to be the first generation which has a small dent in your pinky finger. It's because we hold our phone like this all the time. I got it as well. It's quite shocking, but funny. I'm not going to stop using my phone. And what we actually did was we wanted to try kind of balance out your offline life and your online life. And how to do it? You have to force people. Or not force people, you can, you have to give them kind of a little shock. So what we did, we created a range of products which actually gave that little shock. And the one I've got here on my slide is called the social bench. And what the social bench did was, when one person was sitting on it, it didn't do anything. You probably sit down, you take your phone out, you start Facebooking, Instagramming, Tindering, if you like it. And when a second person sat next to it, it blocked out all communication. It shut down 4G, 3G, Wi-Fi, everything. It created an offline bubble. It just neutralized all the signal that was out there. So it gave your offline life a chance by shutting down your online life. People really liked it. We put it in a gallery in Belgium, and after 5 days, I got a call from the gallery owner. She said, yeah, I'm sorry, Peter, we really like your stuff, but the police confiscated it tonight. So we got a big lawsuit going on. So if there's some good lawyers in the audience, give me your business card if you like pro bono cases. But the fun fact about this is, so if you own a property, if you own a house, you have no right to the frequencies that actually flow through it. If you block the frequency which is in your house, you're stealing from the guy who owns it, from the telephone company. So yeah, don't you think it's strange? Second project. I only got 18 minutes, so I have to do it fast. Second project, it was a commission project. They asked us to do something for Labor Day. They said all these little shop owners, they're losing their businesses to these big industries with their machines and robots, and they had this really bad vibe going on. But we love robots. They do crazy stuff, and they're nice. So we said, okay, we're going to build small robots for the small shop owners. Just to show you, robots aren't bad. So we created these beautifully nice designed robots for the little shop owners. And this one was a bot that was presented, or we built it and presented to a clothing store. And what it did was, you had to put it in front of the clothing booth where people changed their clothes. And when somebody walked out of it, it started clapping to give them a compliment, to give them the catwalk effect. And then the shop owner could focus on the next customer. But this robot, this mechanism, it sparked some emotions. It wasn't just a mechanism clapping. It kind of made people laugh, made people think it was funny. And now the third one. The third one is actually the one that I presented 3 years ago, and this goes way back. It actually starts with the fact that when I finished high school, I wanted to go to music school. I played drums, but I couldn't read notes. Now, we all know if you have to go to music school, you have to read notes. I didn't want to learn it, so what I did is I went to study design. And when I had to pick my graduation project, it all connected. Because when I was studying at the design academy back then, I lived in a small room, and you can't bring your drums in your small room. I learned that from experience. And I started making music on my computer. And what I noticed, actually, all the instruments that we create, we use to play your computer, are built on acoustic instruments. And an acoustic instrument is built upon a physical behavior, a physical movement. If you play piano, you hit the key, it hits the snare, and that's what makes a sound. A guitar, you plug the snare, that's what makes a sound. A drum, you hit the skin, that's what creates a sound. But if we're working with digital equipment, digital computers, you don't have to hit that snare anymore. You don't have to hit that key anymore to create that same sound. So I said, okay, let's stop, let's go back, and let's do it all over again. How can we create instruments which are really intuitive, really fun, and really natural to play? So I checked on how people move to music, and then let's turn it around so when somebody moves, the music would follow you. That's how simple it should be. That's how simple it can be. So we created a set of instruments, as you see here, and I brought a few. Now the first one is called the WOP, and the WOP was the idea of creating a waving sound by creating a waving motion. So that's it. Maybe some people remember the theremin. But it's about creating these little kind of tools that actually capture your uniqueness, capture these mistakes. If people love going to live concerts to see live bands, why? Because if they want to hear the perfect version, you better listen to the CD. But it's about just checking out all these little mistakes that people make. That's what makes it beautiful. As a second one, got started actually about the fact that we said, no big story about it, just said, how cool would it be if you can just pick a sound and just air drum? So we made an air drum stick. Or you can do it both ways, or put an effect on it by twisting your wrist. So it's these little tools where you can actually control or play your computer. In the computer, you select the effect and the sound you actually want, but you play it. You're not sitting behind your computer coding it. The third one is called wiggle. And wiggle is literally wiggling your sounds. So if I play a small beat, I can actually grab stuff or put an effect on it. Quite simple. Now the fourth one is called a scan, and the scan is the payback to the classical system that I didn't want to learn. Because they always say it's about writing or drawing music. But if you draw music, I think about literally drawing music, about sketching stuff. Just draw a line. If you have a pattern in your mind, you can just draw it down in your mind. What if you can just draw it down and sketch it? So I have a pen, so I'm going to show you I'm not cheating. And if I draw a line on this paper, and I take my little scanner, put this one here, see if it works like this, and I go over it. So you actually just draw the rhythm that you want, go over it, and play it. Super simple. And why didn't we create everything at once? Because nowadays we build everything in one big computer that can do everything. But a lot of times we buy stuff, we buy equipment that we only use 10% of it. So what we're actually trying to do is create all these 10% and split them up and give the people just the right simple tool to do the right simple job that they actually want. Now, these are the four that we actually finished. Of course, there's a lot of stuff that we test out because we work together with great artists. They can give us good information, so we actually make relevant stuff. So one idea is that we had this amazing idea. Let's make a stick, and if you bend the stick, you bend your sound. I know, everybody's thinking the same. Perverts. But it's about creating these little tools. Some are less relevant. You push them away and you show them, you put them somewhere very deep. Fuck. I'm sorry. No, but it's about creating these little tools that are relevant to do stuff. And we work together with great artists that I said before. And then beautiful stuff happens. Because then stuff happens that you actually didn't think of before. So we work together with this guy in Amsterdam called Full Crate. And there's a little video of him actually using it in his musical stuff.
I mean, what can I say? This is just an incredible tool and an invention for musicians everywhere. I think it gives you a new dimension to work with, where before you usually just have to punch things, but right now I can use that 3D world around me, which is just using your hands. I find it really incredible because it kind of, I don't know, it gives you a new visual perspective as a viewer, but also as a performer. So I would definitely love to try this out in an actual live show and see how you can entertain people more. It's incredible. Wow. And this is an amazing entertainment tool for the new generation producers and DJs. Definitely.
So that's what happens when real musicians use it. Another frustration that I had was everything is too expensive. When as a little kid you go to the music store, everything is way too expensive. And then when you start building your own stuff, you actually realize that what makes your product too expensive is a lot of stuff that actually isn't necessary. It's the casing, it's the packaging, which makes it nice. But if you're a young guy and don't have much money, you actually just want to buy the essence. So what we did is actually, instead of making our product in a lower quality to drop the price, we created two versions. You have the aluminum device, which has a nice casing and is well designed, we believe. And then you have the credit card version, where you just buy the electronics, you just buy the essence, and it's super portable. You can travel with it, it fits in your pocket. And then when it's so small, we give people the 3D print file, so they can print their own casing, or they can model their own casing, or they can stick it to other instruments, which make it really interesting. I said this is an idea that we had. It would be awesome if you can just play your guitar and then move your hand away, and you can put an effect on your guitar. And we made one, especially for you guys tonight, which is our microphone add-on. It's the wiggle thing that we had, which is super nice. If you, for example, say something in the microphone and then go tilt it up. So people actually hold their microphone, so why not transform that microphone in an effect stick? So if you express yourself, you're going to move with your hand around. So why not use this and add this and create this different dimensions so you can... It's super fun to play. Now, another example how we use our instruments, now it becomes really interesting. So what we did with some friends in Copenhagen, they said when the Turkwipe hype was so big, we said, we have this drum device. What if we can make little clips that fit on a girl's butt cheek? And then when she moves it, we can actually decide which sounds to put on what butt cheek. So then this happened.
The booty drum is a device that records movements through accelerometers attached to the dancer's booty. So these movements translate into unique velocities and triggers. So in this way, the dancer triggers the musician's samples, and together they are creating a beat, or the structure, so to speak. It becomes a collaborative track between the dancer and the musician.
Stop it right there. But this was quite fun. And you can imagine, there were a couple of guys sitting in the studio building our stuff. So when these projects come along, we get excited. And then when we posted it online, it went viral. And then when Playboy shares your project, that's the moment your mother becomes proud of you. 3 years ago, I graduated with a project. Today I showed you the products that we have now, and in February we're going to start shipping out them worldwide through a Kickstarter that we successfully finished. But it's more than a music instrument. It's because of it's having the balls to actually take a step back and do stuff your way, do it different, and not take the obvious route. If it's music or design or technology or dancing or health, it doesn't matter. As long as you take it seriously, but not yourself. Thank you.